obviously after we had gotten him home, things were still not correct. He never slept.
And let me step in here for just a minute, Brandy, kind of set the stage again. So, very difficult birth. Just so I can kind of clarify a couple things. Breech presentation
Yep.
for Thomas, cord wrapped around his neck, not breathing, non-responsive at birth. So he started off kind of with his back up against the wall a little
Exactly.
bit. You know, that's kind of just the best way to say it.
Yep.
He had a lot of stress in his life very early on, as did you with the epidural.
Yep.
And so he comes in. There's a lot of stress in the equation, and then very soon after that, what did you start noticing?
He was not sleeping. He never really slept at all. Maybe even, up until we started seeing, he only slept, I want to say at least maybe as a baby, maybe 2-3 hours a night.
Okay.
That was rough.
So this is like the colic. You know, this is just the kid that, you know, is very uncomfortable, agitated, not sleeping, somewhat difficult.
He never wanted to sleep on his back.
Okay. Never wanted to sleep on his back, uncomfortable, and this is the case history that we see, Brandy, as you know from following our stuff, that we see with a lot of kids with some type of label or diagnosis, whether it be sensory processing disorder, ADD, ADHD, emotional issues, anxiety, depressional issues, things of that nature. At the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, we're seeing these case histories where there's just a lot of stress involved.
Oh yeah.
Right, and yours was no different with Thomas. So he fits that perfect storm, you know, mold. And then 9-10 years later, we now have a label.
Yeah.
Right.
A label.
So bring us up to speed now with where he's at now, in terms of what his struggles and challenges have been prior to coming into the office.
So at the age of 3 or 4, though, he was diagnosed with sensory processing disorder. He had a lot of issues, a lot of them behavioral, still not sleeping. Up until last year, I was researching you.
Okay.
I did a lot of extensive research on the perfect storm and you.
Okay. Right.
Making sure and with trying to be in my own comfort zone, I wasn't sure yet if it was the right thing to do or not, because I didn't want to put more on him.
Right.
I just said, heck with it, we're gonna do it. I talked with my husband. I said, we're gonna just try this.
Yep.
Even though his pediatrician was against it, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, so there's a lot of skepticism oftentimes, right?
Yes.
Or right?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely, skepticism from the public, from pediatricians, but it really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's what's best for the child.
Exactly.
Right? And if mom is confident, and if mom feels like, you know what, I got nothing to lose, it can only help him. What's it going to hurt, right?
Trust your gut. It's your
Absolutely.
child. Trust your gut.
Yes, so as parents, you gotta trust that there's something else out there that could potentially help your kid out. Because let's be honest, what had worked in the past and what doesn't work many times for parents and their kids who are struggling with these challenges are the medications.
Right, which he's on
Currently, but we're working, through that, right, to get his nervous system to function better with the medication that he is on. All right, so maybe there's a possibility of lessening that medication in the future. So it's not like chiropractic is anti-drug.
No.
Right? It's not the point. The point is that these kids are stressed neurologically, and they've been like that for a very, very long time, based upon the ingredients that they've accumulated over the years during the birth trauma, the medications, the antibiotics, the vaccine schedule. All right, it's huge, right? So whether you believe in it or don't believe it, this is what these kids are finding themselves in, where their nervous system is completely wired. They're sympathetic stress dominant, and they're stuck there. So what we're finding too with these case histories is the colic, the ear infections. He had the tonsillectomy, he had the adenectomy, right? He had everything ripped out of his sinus region, thinking that, hey, let's just take one more piece of the puzzle out and that's going to help him.
Exactly.
Right? But it was just a Band-Aid, because that's the...
I think it added more stress to him, obviously. I think it did.
Yeah, for sure.
All that stuff to him.
Yeah, the procedure, the stress, the unknowingness, is it going to work? Is it not going to work?
Right.
And at the end of the day, it's just another procedure that doesn't really address the root cause of the problem.
Correct.
So chiropractic comes in and says, you know what? Yeah, we get all that. It's been a huge mess, but what can we do different for these kids? All right, what can we do that the specialists and the pediatricians and the ENTs and and the psychologists aren't providing these parents, and that's really understanding where they came from, right? From, within the nervous system being completely taxed out, completely stressed out, and what can we do to remove that stress pattern?
Yeah.
And that's what the adjustment does. So since getting adjusted, right, bring us up to speed where Thomas is at now.
Okay, so we started, 3 weeks ago roughly, and my boy is sleeping every night. Yes,
cool.
8 hours of sleep. And
something he's like never had before.
Exactly, never had. And he is doing great in school.
Cool.
That is another issue that we've had, and he's doing awesome.
That's great.
I hear every day, I get communication from the teacher, he's having a great day, he's done good, so.
Keep it up. This is really a huge benefit. I mean, you're seeing the results of what we're doing with him. So if you had to tell another mom out there, or have a conversation with another mom who you knew was having an issue with their child, what would you say to them?
I just actually had this conversation.
Yeah.
I would say to them, check it out. Check it out. It doesn't hurt to ask questions. That's what I did. And it took me a year to get my confidence up, but still ask questions. I watched all the videos. It's just communication. Just please, try it out. That's, it's your gut, it's your child, just try it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks so much, Brandy. It's been like a pleasure working with you, working with Thomas. I'm going to have a picture of him, I think, this afternoon.
Yes,
we'll throw it up
are.
on the feed, right?
Yes.
Thomas is like super big into like WWE, which I have really no clue what that is. It's just a bunch of dudes like, in the ring going at it. But that's what happens when these kids, get their nervous system back online, is they're able to start to express life again.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it's not about, go ahead.
He's been very, very active at home. Usually he just wants to lay there, but he's been very active. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, unlocking their stress patterns, getting their nervous system back online, functioning, firing more appropriately, less stress, and they're doing better in school and they're living life optimally.
Yeah.
And he's going to keep going down that road. So that's why we start them young and keep the nervous system clear, and the child and the family is going to reap the fullest extent of those benefits. So,
yeah.
Cool.
Right, Knuckles.
Thanks so much, Brandy. You guys have a great day. If you know someone out there, right? I know you're just talking up a storm out there.
Oh, yeah,
right?
I am.
Cool.
I am.
I
have 2 people that I've talked to.
There you go. And, if they want to ever just chat more in the office or have a conversation about what their son or daughter might be going through, whether it be, some type of an emotional anxiety issue, ADD, sensory, just have them give us a call. We can chat and see how chiropractic more than likely would be a fantastic fit for them. But just start with the conversation.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there. You guys have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.